Now, one of the major things I do with students is help them develop what I call a home drill. You've got to be able to practice a little bit every day rather than just relying on that, maybe that once a week that you might visit the driving range. But if you can just give yourself, 3 to 5 or 5 to 10 minutes every day, it's going to go a long way towards you improving and dropping your scores. I always like to help them develop a home drill, something they can just spend a few minutes that will help them. Let's use the example of swinging over the top and outside in and slicing as the issue that we're trying to attack. So there's no golf balls for this because it's at home in your patio, your living room. And I'm lying a stick down here to define an ultra inside to out path. But what you just might do here is just practice making some dry swings that are severely in to out and really feel that. So I'm just swinging along this stick line essentially, very rightwards of my feet. And I might do that for 2 to 3 minutes, especially before I go to the driving range. And that's going to really help me start to build some coordination so that when I put a golf ball in the way, I don't feel completely lost. Now, oftentimes the best home drills don't involve a ball or a club. They just rely on practicing good motion. So let's use the early extension issue that many golfers have for this example. So you could just practice even with a wall behind you or a chair behind you, or you can just do it on your own if you can go slow enough and focus on the motion of keeping this right butt cheek back, even increasing the hip flexion right here, increasing the bow in the transition, and then coming on through maintaining that. So you can see I've done an exercise just to acquaint my brain with the motion I'm going to be trying to make the next time I stick a golf ball in front of it. So it would be maintain the posture going back, increase it on the way down, and then maintain it on the way through. Would be another fantastic home drill that you can do. All right, let's go back to our outside in, over the top, steep slicers. I know some of you are watching this, trying to figure out how you're gonna get rid of that slice. And it's probably not gonna be practicing more. You're just gonna get even better at the slice and make it more permanent. So let's change our practice habits. Here's just a handy drill, the bucket and stick drill you can do. I've got the bucket on the line and the stick is about the same angle as the shaft is at address. But we're going to do what I call stepping it up. So far you've had high success in missing the stick in the bucket like this. There we go. And boy, you get that club coming under the stick and inside the bucket into the ball, and it almost wants to turn itself over. That ball almost wants to draw from the first ball. However, I only hit that about 100 yards. Soft swing, which is what I was supposed to be doing. My enemy was whacking the stick with my club or whacking the bucket with the head of the club. Those were the enemies, so I won that round. Again, let's go back to near the beginning when we were talking about piles of balls. This is where you might have a pile of 10. Separate a pile of 10 golf balls for the step it up drill, or sometimes I call it the leapfrog drill. So if I hit that last one 100 yards and I was successful at coming from the inside, let's go 115 now. Okay, again, I won the game. The ball went a little bit left on me. It's okay though. If you're a slicer, I bet overhooking one into the left edge of the left rough is going to be like, oh, thank you, finally, I've visited the other side of the fairway for once. So there we go. I'm successful now, a little faster. What I'm going to try to do, as long as I'm successful, is I'm going to keep stepping up the speed and power until, let's say I get to 10 balls and I'm hitting more full out and I'm not failing. I'm continuing to make the right motion, whether it's this drill or early extension or exiting low left, or maybe it's just your grip. Maybe you're just making a simple grip change and someone, or you've identified this as the biggest source of your problems, and maybe your left-hand grip has been very poor and you're fixing that and it feels terrible. Again, what you might do is step it up, separate out 10 golf balls, and play a little game of leapfrog with yourself. Test yourself. Push your brain to adapt. Challenge. Hardship, challenge. They help stimulate our brain to physically change faster. So, give yourself a little bit more stress. Here's that good left-hand grip. It feels awful. I just know I'm going to hit it bad with this new grip that the instructor gave me. I started to get the gist of it at low speeds, but now let's try stepping it up. And we're going to go a little bit faster. Boy, it just feels so awkward. Maybe the ball sliced way off to the right or something like that, but you're going to ignore it because all you got to do, you got to make sure that that hand gets on there correctly. Or even, as we discussed in a previous segment, maybe hyper correctly for a little while. Maybe you'll need to hit a few buckets of balls if you're trying to get your grip stronger in the left hand. Maybe you got to turn it all the way to 3 o'clock and hit some balls that way. That way, that's the exaggeration principle we talked about earlier. Let's try one like that. So here is the crazy, ultra strong grip. And of course, I'll slow it down at first because it's just so awkward. I feel like I'm going to whiff. But then separate out 10 golf balls, try my leapfrog, step it up, put more stress on the system to adapt, but do it for a finite period. Don't chase it like chasing your losses in Vegas. Just define the starting and end period and then move on to a different drill or a different issue.